everybody, we are on the Caledonian Canal boating. We showed you a beautiful place, Laggan, where we got our boat. We went on Loch Lochy and you saw how beautiful it is, and we spent the night near Glengarry Locks. It is a beautiful place as well. Now we are going up on the canal to Loch Oig, but in order to go there you have to go on Laggan Avenue. It is just a beautiful, beautiful place. There is a very interesting stop in the beginning of Loch Oig, Well of the Seven Heads, then a little bit farther the Invergarry Castle and the hotel, Glengarry Castle Hotel. We stopped not for the night, just for curiosity to see what this well looks like. And by the way, the road, the highway is very busy and very dangerous, even very dangerous to cross it. We read about this place that there is like a memorial, a well, the well, and the restaurant.
This is a memorial called the Well of the Seven Heads. There was a well here, and the deal was there was a feud between clans, and one clan came, there was a murder, and it needed to be avenged, the victims thought, the victim clan. So they put together a group of attackers and went to the clan that had perpetrated the murder, captured 7 of them, cut their heads off, and started taking them back to the next of kin of the person who had been murdered to show that vengeance had been done. So they were going back across the country carrying 7 heads. And they got to this well in the country, and they decided that the heads needed to be washed up nice and clean before they delivered them to the victims' relatives. And so they stopped here and washed the 7 heads and cleaned them up. So that's why this is called the Well of the 7 Heads.
Like I mentioned already, that the road is very busy. Many cars, motorcycles, and tourists are here. And the restaurant, I think, has a good business because of this. It's a mailbox. I thought it is interesting. And if you have a dog, you can park your dog here. There is even a parking for dog. And of course, the name of the restaurant, Wells of the 7 Heads.
Usually you have a 10 grand, there's no,
They got burgers.
it's all good.
Soda and water. Perhaps they have cakes. Hello.
Hello.
Have cakes. Would you like some?
No, I get enough sweets on the boat.
Life is like a cup of tea. It's all about how you make it.
Ah, delicious.
$2,
£2.75.
What is it showing to me?
It's a bacon
inside?
roll. It consists of lots of meat. We would call this ham. They call it bacon. On a very soft bun.
And there is an old picture of the well. I don't know how old this picture is, but looks different than now. You can tell.
Perfect. Thank you.
One of the primary things that there is to do on the Caledonian Canal when you go down by boat is to stop and visit the ruins of castles. And one that we visited is the Invergarry Castle ruins. Invergarry, like Inverness, for example, means at the mouth of the Ness River. So Invergarry Castle is at the mouth of the Garry River. And it is a castle dating back to the 1600s with a long history belonging to the MacDonald family of Scottish fame, and it went back and forth in the various wars of the Roses and in the wars that involved the MacDonalds and their competing clans, but also that was all bound up in the history of Britain as a whole that was going on around it at the time. You can see holes in the castle walls here that were made by cannon, and it's an interesting old ruins of a castle with nothing really to do or see beyond just look at the ruins. But if you like that, and we did, then it's a good place to stop.
The road to Glengarry Castle Hotel is very nice, narrow but quiet.
Just a few hundred yards from the ruins of the Invergarry castle is the Glengarry Hotel. Glengarry, I guess, means in the valley of the Garry River, I suppose, in its Scottish origin. But at any rate, the Glengarry Hotel is a fine old uh, building. I don't know what you would call this. It's not a castle. It's just a very large manor house, I guess, um, that dates back to the 1700s, and I think even the late 1600s, maybe. No, the 1700s, I think. It was built by a family that were part of the founders of the Hudson Bay Company. If you know anything about the settlement of North America, in particular, particularly Canada and the upper parts of what is now the United States, you know about the Hudson Bay Company and the way the Hudson Bay Company was organized to exploit the wealth and bring the wealth of the New World back to the British Isles. And that's the money that built this hotel. It came from North America and specifically from the Hudson Bay Company. An interesting place, still very much run as a hotel. It's kind of a good hotel, a little bit pricey maybe in the Scottish countryside. And if you're exploring the countryside by car or even want to get off your boat for a night or two, this is a good place to go. I understand the hotel is also very nice. We did not go. It does require reservations, and we hadn't made them and weren't going to stay there that long anyway.
Connected to the castle.
Not really, no. There's a brief history of the house itself here, but originally it was built by three brothers that went to Canada to make their fortune.
Okay.
They co-founded the Hudson Bay Company, so
Oh,
they were
really?
into the ferrying.
Really? Oh, yeah. The famous Hudson Bay Company.
And then
Okay.
once they made their fortune, they came back and built the house and the whole estate. Okay, and just a regular cafetiere of coffee. Coffees. And
Invergarry
custard.
I'm gonna have, let's see, coffee and stone, not gluten free.
Look, it is a French symbol.
Yeah.
Why is it here?
I mean, England and France have a long history of invasions and fights and wars and
Next time we are going under Aberchalder Bridge and to Fort Augustus. It has 5 locks staircase. See you very soon. Goodbye.